Trusting others with money has never worked out for me. Giving Tectone $300,000, my org I gave my life and my sanity to, and that one time I gave Slicker $50 for a tennis match. But just like all of you, I never learn. Last month, I gave 10,000 people I have never met $400,000 of my own money. They had 30 days, and their goal was to make $50,000 profit. But if they lose money, then the bag was mine to hold. They hit $50,000 on day 20, 10 days early. Every one of them had money coming to their own personal accounts. Some of them, hundreds of dollars. And they decided not to take it at all. We watched the entire thing disappear over the next few days, which is how a group of strangers ended up $60,000 short of a number they have already hit, with 10 days left on the clock. We can change.
Winning yet, son?
We have 10 more days, and there's hope. They had just watched one decision blow up all of their money. They really are my viewers. There's a whole section of the internet that hates my guts. Surprise! And wants me to fail. Handing $400,000 to a Discord full of strangers is the easiest thing they will ever get to root against. And some of them even participated. And I needed this to work. After the last couple of years and every drama that's got attached to my name, this was the thing I had left that was actually mine, and I wanted it to work. If I lose $400,000 of my own money in front of 10,000 people who trusted me with it, I do not come back from that as a streamer, and I don't know where I'd go with my content. I might have to apply to Streaming University. I'll see you there, Wardrobe.
Oh, bitch, you trying to be funny.
Yo! And if my chat fails, I might have to quit streaming forever and go back living with my mom and become an accountant. To understand what we're doing here, every dollar my chat makes over $400,000, they get to keep as profit. And any money that's below the $400,000, I hold the bag. Most of my viewers felt pretty cocky even before we started. And for the first few days, it made sense. They couldn't stop being right.
But look at those fucking gains, boys.
While the account was still up, people were already telling me that the whole challenge was a scam and that I was never gonna pay anybody. Now I leaned into it because I thought it was funny, and at the same time, I was winning. This whole challenge, I'm sure a lot of you guys have realized by now, was a scam. Of course, I'm a scumbag from New Jersey, chat. Yeah. So I told chat to go comment under the video that I was a piece of shit who took their money. Can you guys please comment on this and be like, dude, fuck you, man. Like, you're a piece of shit. Like, what the fuck? I trusted you. Like, I gave you so much of my money. And let's just see if we can make people think that this was actually real. Just be like, are you fucking serious, dude? I literally give you all my money for my family and shit. Some of the viewers took it a little bit too seriously, but a lot of people believed it. The account went up almost immediately. You guys are up $7,000, which is incredible. You're up about 2.5% on your entire portfolio, which is insane in just 3 days. Keep in mind, the average portfolio wants 7% in a year. You're up 2% in 3 days. You're doing great. You are doing great, which turned out to be the worst thing that could have happened for my chat because it convinced 10,000 people that this was easy. Everyone made them want a little bit more, and every loss made them want it back that same day. All of it was happening live, so an idea could go from one guy typing it to a majority vote in about 30 seconds. Okay, so chat, you have 30 seconds to vote right now. It is currently 250 on the buy. 3, 2, 1, 0. A medium purchase of $20,000. My chat is not a room full of smart investors. I don't even know if you can get a full room of my chat. 10,000 people is a lot of people though. And some of them do this for a living, are very smart. They might be investors. Some of them have absolutely no idea what a stock is. So let me explain what a stock is for some of you who do not know. So here's what a stock is. A company gets split into millions of tiny pieces, and one of those pieces is a stock. When you buy one, you own that piece of the company, and its price moves up and down all day, depending on how many people want to buy it and how many want to sell it. If you sell it for more than you paid, you keep the difference. If you sell it for less, that's your loss. You own it right up until people running the company decide you don't, and then a lawyer explains to you your own shares that you now don't own. But being a little up wasn't the goal. They had to make $50,000 in 30 days, and buying safe stocks and sitting on them was never gonna get them there. So I went to my Discord and I started talking to some of my viewers, mostly because I wanted to find out if anybody had a plan. The first few callers gave me exactly the kind of advice that you would expect from a public Discord. Let's buy GameStop and let's buy everything on r/Wall Street Bets. GameStop is such shit. I just don't get it. They're so bad. But then one man joined the Discord that changed everything, and his name was Dripmeister. Dripmeister is a 24-year-old who was about halfway through a beer when he was talking to me, and he was completely convinced that the answer to all of our problems was leverage.
Bro, I think we need to go into options, honestly, bro. It's either go big or go home.
Leverage means you borrow money, so your bet is bigger than the cash you actually have. You win more when you're right, and you lose more when you're wrong. His argument was that normal trades are never gonna get us anywhere, so we needed something that would move harder. I asked him if he even knew what options were, and he told me no. And then he pointed out that I was the one who called them gambling. So as far as he was concerned, that was the selling point.
Take like maybe like 5K, because that ain't shit. Put it in some options.
This drip guy is trolling, dude.
I mean, the way I see it, there's 300K to gamble right there. So
There's 2 new people on Discord.
I don't think you're seeing anything.
I'm seeing money.
I don't understand how options works. The problem is options are basically, we can get fucked and go to $0. When if you just hold the stock, yeah, but what?
Imagine if it did hit. Imagine if it hits.
Now, I should have probably ended the call there. I let it keep going because I thought it was funny and because I already knew where the vote was heading. Remember him because every single thing that happens in the rest of the video happens because 10,000 people agreed with a guy who just told me he didn't even know what options were. The first real decision was $35,000 into a leverage stock. In a couple of days, it looked like it was the smartest thing that anyone had ever done. It went up and everyone was praising Dripmeister as their new god of the portfolio. Then it had one bad day and they lost everything they made that week. Here is what they had bought. SOXL. It is a 3x leverage, which is also Zoro suit size at the Streamer Awards.
It was a struggle finding the suit, I'm not gonna lie.
If a computer chip stock goes up 1%, SOXL goes up 3%. If a computer chip stock goes down 1%, SOXL goes down 3. Chat loved it because it was the only thing fast enough to reach their goal, but I hated it for that exact same reason. Chat also decided to buy NVDL, which is the 2x leverage of Nvidia. They were trying to kill me. NVDL kept going down almost the second they bought it. NVDL is down 9%. That is $5,000 of your losses right now, chat, is this alone. But they decided to buy more and double down because that's how you win. Right? So you're just like, you want to double down and keep going down no matter what happens. You're fully involved. NVDL, you're at $46,000. You were at $50,000. Let's increase your position. So we're going to do $20,000. Let's go ahead and buy. The first time it made sense. The price had dropped. Nothing about the company had actually changed. And buying something you already like at a cheaper price is a normal thing that investors do every day. The second one is where it made no sense. The price had dropped again. So NVDL is down 8% since you guys bought it in $6,000. You have $65,000 in NVDL alone, chat. They were not buying it because they thought it was a good stock anymore. They were buying it to hold up something that nobody else wanted. The next Monday, I opened up the account and I asked chat why we were already down $11,000. But I had to correct myself halfway in between my sentences because we were already down 12. Why are we down today? Why are we down another $11,000 again? 12,000, sorry, I just blinked. They added SOXL again that day.
We buy more Soxel and we buy more NVDL. I was praying for a day like this. Honestly, it's gonna fucking skyrocket, and it did just what we needed. Like, we're gonna get all this shit for cheap.
So you're
fucking rich.
So you're happy.
Bro, I'm so happy right now. I mean,
this was the first time I said out loud on my stream that I don't understand why I had any trust in any of them. And I think I learned a lesson. And it's a lesson I've been learning for 5 years now. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody, not even your fucking own community. By the time they stopped, another 100,000 was sitting in Micron from earlier the month, and there was almost nothing left in cash. Micron makes the memory chips that go into basically everything from AI to the computer you're using right now, and had quietly become the biggest single thing they owned for weeks while everyone was just arguing about leveraged funds. But remember Micron's name, because it's the one company that decides how all of this ends. And Nvidia was about to have earnings, and we were ready. If you don't know what earnings are, it's basically when the company's telling you how they're doing. You're hoping that they're doing better than what people expected. If they're doing better, the stock goes up, usually. We sat on that earnings call for hours as we listened to Jensen Huang talk about Nvidia. Nvidia beat their earnings. They sold more chips than anyone expected, and they said the next few months looked strong. 8,000 people were refreshing the same page at the same time, waiting for the jump that was supposed to save all of this. My chat was sitting there with me, waiting. We were in a 2x leverage of Nvidia. Surely this will be good for the market, and we will go back to being profitable, right? Wrong. Calm down, calm down. Well, you're down $7,000 since I started speaking, all right? This is now the market reacting to what Jensen Hung just said. NVIDIA went down anyway. And since we owned NVDL, it went down twice as hard. Now, NVIDIA is one of the most important companies in the world. So when NVIDIA goes down in price, the entire market moves as well. And that also hurt our SOXL. Bad. That was the quietest the chat has ever been in a month. They were sitting there sad. They were down tens of thousands of dollars and they did not believe they can come back. And I want you to hold on to how bad this looks right now, because 8 days from this moment, they were going to be celebrating. Oh my God, you guys literally did do it. And 2 days after that is going to be the worst the account was all month. I am very surprised. And I think a lot of people are as well on what the fuck just went down. Then a few days later, it started to just climb and it didn't stop. It went through 410,000, 425,000. It went all the way up to $455,000. Now, chat kissing anything obviously can scare them, and it scared one of my viewers. His name is Asmongold. That meant the challenge was officially done. Day 20, every person that call had money coming into them, some of them being hundreds of dollars. The call lost it. People were doing the math in their own head, screenshotting balances, telling each other what they'd be earning. Somebody said this was the easiest money they have ever made. In that exact moment, he was completely right. I paid $10 a comment under these videos. So that was way easier. And that's where this challenge should have ended. People on the call were telling them to sell it and lock in. The vote happened while the account was still above the goal, but they wanted to stay. The account sat for $450,000 for about 30 minutes. Your goal was to hit $450,000. And what really makes me fucking sad is you did hit 450K for about 30 minutes. 2 days after the chat hit their all-time high, the same leverage accounts that carried them to that finish line dragged them straight back into the mud. They went from $50,000 above to $25,000 below. They had 10 days left, and now they needed $75,000 just to get back to where they already were. There was a civil war between my community on whether or not they should go into leverage or they should just ride this challenge out. Some even wanted to just end it and move on. And keep in mind, every dollar that was used in leverage was because a 24-year-old who was halfway through a beer had told him to go big or go home. Dripmeister is so bad at picking stocks, he's the next Leopold Aschenbrenner. Citadel had to bail out Leopold after his leverage funds failed, and the only one buying out Dripmeister is his mom after DUI. The stocks fell again, and when it fell again, they decided to go all in. They went on 2x leverage Micron, which is MUU. They bought back NVDL, and they went to 3x leverage SOXL. This was the holy trinity that could save the portfolio, or it could bankrupt me. Fun times. Dripmeister decided to lead the charge, and the chat was skeptical, but they had no one else to turn to. It dropped further, and more people were getting mad at Dripmeister.
Fortunately, I believe this vote of no that we're seeing means chat is actually learning not to listen to Drip all the time.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
He's not going to override
They've been kind of being slandered here. You know, they've been saying they're sheep or whatever. I think that everyone in the chat is a free thinker. It's just, you know, most of the time I give one of the, you know, the most informed opinion, and that's why people just kind of go with it.
But then the market turned completely. SOXL was coming back. NBDL was coming back. 370, 380, $400,000. They were now break even. Nobody celebrated though. One person typed we're back and nobody else cared. I celebrated. Then Micron even went up more. The one that they just kept the entire time. The biggest thing in that account since before any of this went wrong kept going up. Micron then hit its all-time high that it was traded at. 410,000, 430,000. And 3 days left on the clock, they hit the finish line. $450,000. I looked at the chat, and this time it was unanimous. Sell it.
Sell
Sell everything.
Sell everything.
I sold NVDL. We got rid of SOXL almost immediately, but there was one stock that just wouldn't hit our price target, and that was Micron. We held, we waited. Chat was filled with pause champs. They waited for this stock to finally sell. Micron was the last part of this. If we sell this, chat goes home with $54,000 profit. We sat there and waited for the stock, but it got slowly picked away. Some shares were getting sold. A couple more shares were getting sold, but most of it was still sitting there, and we needed to sell this before the end of the day. The clock was ticking, but just at the last minute, the rest of the Micron sold. And the chat was up $54,000. They celebrated, as some of them were making hundreds and hundreds of dollars that month. And Dripmeister, who was once hated and wanted on a spike, became king. The hate threads never got written. People didn't say I scammed, and I paid out every single person that was involved as fast as I could. This story to me is important because it isn't just about a chat trying to make money. I know a lot of them were trying to make me have a win, and I really appreciate you guys. And we got risky, and the chat would agree. Do not get involved in leverage. None of this is financial advice, but trust me, ask Leopold. It's not worth it. This was one of the most fun things I did with my stream, and the next challenge, I'm giving $1 million to my chat, and it's happening right now. Join the Discord, link is below. I really appreciate all of you guys. Please comment and share this video. I'm really working on it, I promise you. And I'm gonna make amazing content as I continue. You guys mean the world to me. I'm gonna keep working my ass off to make you guys proud, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace.